All right.
Alrighty.
Welcome back, Josh. Yesterday, you guys faced off at Wrigley Field. What was that experience like, and have you got to see much of the city so far?
Yeah, the experience at Wrigley Field was fun. It was my first time being around that stadium. I've never been inside the stadium, but this is my second time in Chicago. I would say for sure this time around I haven't done much, but I've definitely been more involved in the city, walking around. Definitely see a lot of history in the city. It's definitely cool, like the brick buildings and stuff. Coming from South Florida, you don't see this very often, so very interesting, very nice, good experience.
And then you've been very close to winning this tournament in the past. What, if anything, is different for you this year, and what would obviously winning the tournament mean to your career?
Yeah, man, if you go look at my career with the PFL, I've just been in these tournaments. This is my fourth go-around. The first three times I was kind of in a larger weight class. With that being said, I felt like I did decent with the blueprint that was given to me that I had to deal with. But now that I'm in this new weight class, I just feel a lot better, man. I feel like an actual professional athlete. I feel like I don't have to necessarily force myself to try new things because these guys are larger. You know, I can't really throw down with guys who punch hard. You know, I feel like my stand-up is a lot more, I have a lot more confident in myself now, you know, that these guys we're about the same size now. So, and my shape is amazing. You know, I lost about 37 pounds just off the rip, just from dropping to the weight class. So just to have 37 to 40 pounds off me completely, it's a huge difference, man. You know, there's regular people out here that try to lose that weight in their whole lifetime, you know. So I got rid of this thing in 4 or 5 months, and I'm a completely new person now.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I know I probably shouldn't be mentioning this, but there's some really great food in this city. And after your fight, I hope you go and check it out. That's not a question, it's just a comment.
No, for sure. Let me know some of the places to check out. My weight's amazing, bro. I was on weight 2 days ago. So
I'm not going to talk about any specific ones before the fight.
Okay, thank you.
Go against my ethics. Anyway, when examining the fight on paper, I think what jumps out to a lot of people is your 2 fights with Impa and his fight with Impa. Does that weigh on your mind at all? Or do you think that's something that might be overblown and used to just sell the fight and talk about the fight?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, you know, when you look at 2 athletes competing against each other, you have to go look at the paperwork, right? You got to go see what's on the paper. And obviously, Fabian's beat a guy that's beaten me twice. But, you know, man, throughout sports, not just MMA, we've seen that. That guy beats that person beats that person. If I was going to let that, you know, infiltrate my mind, I probably would be nervous But to be honest, when I see guys beat Impa, it makes me think like, fuck, like I was there too, you know, especially in that second fight. Like I had my moment, you know, I watched my teammate KO him, you know. I had these little moments where I feel like those guys actually used my highlights to go finish the job, you know what I mean? So whether, you know, he beat Impa or whatever the case is, this is a whole new fight. We're both southpaws. At least I think he's going to be a southpaw for this fight. He's never changed his stance. It's going to be different, man. You know, he's dealt with, anytime he's dealt with ATT guys, he's been in trouble. We've trained against this guy multiple times for Johnny. It's just different, man, you know. Every fight's a new fight. For me, you go in there 0-0, even though there's a record and stuff, but 0-0 in there every time. And I just feel like this is just a different matchup. It doesn't matter who he beat. I'm not Impa, you know. I'm Josh Silveira.
Last one for me. On that note, you as a fighter, do you think you provide a different challenge completely to anyone he's ever faced before? What do you think?
I believe so. I believe I'll present a different challenge. I believe, you know, my teammates who beat him, they grappled the crap out of him. And it shows he has a hard time dealing with that, but he's gotten better. You know, I won't sit here and bash him either. He has great attributes about him too. You know, one thing I do admire about Fabian is the relationship he has with his brother and stuff. I feel like that keeps him confident in his game because they fight very similar. They kind of work together, so I do appreciate that brotherhood they had. But for the most part, man, I just see him having a hard time with my jiu-jitsu if he hits to the ground. I could see him looking past me. You know, I know he's looking past me just because he's been in bigger events. But it doesn't matter, man. None of that shit matters. When you go in there, punch to the face, and fighting is the same shit all around.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
So you said you feel more confident ever since you dropped to this weight class.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect the fight to go this Friday?
So there's a couple of scenarios I have in my mind. You know, I feel like there's going to be a feel-out process, especially because we're both southpaw. You're going to probably see a lot of distance strikes at first. He likes to be a counter striker, at least from what I see. In this particular case, since we're both southpaws, you might see some calf kicks now. Usually being a southpaw versus a orthodox guy, there's not that many outside calf kicks, right? It's just little small things that I could see being the scenario of the fight. But for me, man, I'm a complete MMA fighter. I think I showed that in my last fight with Shipman. I did some stand-up, then utilized my wrestling to win the fight. So I'm just gonna see where the fight goes, takes its place, and I'm gonna see what kind of vibe he has. That's all really. I kind of go in there with an open mind. I'm confident with my chin. I've never been put out. There's no way he's gonna submit me. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna fight all 3 rounds, or we're gonna put pressure on him.
And then you say you think he's looking past you. Does that give you a little bit extra motivation?
100%. And listen, this is the fight game. No man's gonna come in here thinking, yeah, you could beat me. Yeah, you definitely could beat my ass. No, you're in the wrong business if you're thinking like that. You know, that's the beauty about fighting. 2 guys go in there, 2 guys think they're gonna win. They're almost guaranteed they know they're gonna win. But one guy's wrong. One guy has to be wrong, you know. So my mentality going in there is that we both have to go in there. What you think beforehand doesn't mean anything. We'll be the judge after it. You know, we'll judge the fight afterwards. So that's my outlook on it.
Of course, the goal is winning and make it to the finals. But how big of a stake since he's being overlooking you? How big of a stake will mean to you? Not just going to the final, but also beating you in the main event.
No, for sure. I definitely know what situation I'm in. I know who I'm fighting. I know this guy has a name. I know this is a moment where these are kind of like the moments where I've learned in the past and I've lost in these moments, you know, against Impa in the finals. Things like that. I know where I'm at now. I know the type of position I'm in. I know Fabian is a good name. And I know getting a win over this guy will put me in a good position for my future, for the next events to come. And I know where I'm at right now. I'm very conscious, very, very alive, and I know that my future is literally right here on Friday. I just have to look down the barrel and give it a good fucking shot. You know what I mean? A good fucking shot with a lot of intention and a lot of direction. Not random, not close my eyes, look down the barrel and shoot that fucking thing. You know what I mean? And that's the type of mentality that I'm going to bring Friday.
No, that's a very powerful statement.
Thank you.
One more, I want to ask you about the influence of your dad. He's a high elite level coach. I was growing up with him, you know, being in this environment over, right?
Yeah, man, this is just so, from my career just by myself is already exciting. The fact that I get to bring my dad along And I just don't bring him along. He understands this too, right? There's times I'm at home and my mom tries to give me some tips and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is cute, you know? And I listen to my mom and stuff because she cares about me. But the big difference is my dad understands the situation. So having somebody like that here with me, there's no words I could put on it, really. You know, it's a beautiful thing. I think at the end of the day, outside of fighting, it's just beautiful memories we're gonna have together. Knowing that one day when we're not here, we could leave this world knowing that, you know, we had some good journeys together. So it means a lot. Definitely means a lot. Thank you.
Josh, a lot of the narrative throughout your time here at the PFL has been you and your father. Well, now you're a father.
Yeah.
And as you're 2 wins away from becoming a tournament champion, what does it mean to you? Does this feel like a new chapter in your career now, not just being attached to your father, but being a father yourself?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think, you know, having a child changes your life a lot, 100%. I don't know what it is, man, but the new weight class, I'm a dad now, changes in my life. I don't know exactly the feelings I'm feeling, but they feel good, and I love it. And I'm learning to embrace it. I'm learning to accept my reality, man, that I have this human that I got to take care of. And I love her so much, man. I love her so much. This is my first time being away from her right now, and it's driving me nuts, but I'm doing everything for her, 100%. Thanks for the question.
Does it feel a little bit more important and feel like more perfect timing that you're in a better weight class? You're fighting for more than just yourself and your career now, and not only the championship, but she's your bigger purpose? Yeah,
man. Life is a weird roller coaster, man. That's why I tell people, the sun goes down, the sun comes up. You never know what the fuck life has for you in the future. So don't give up on yourself. The thing with me is I felt life wasn't ready for me to mature yet with the new weight class, being a dad, and it just kind of put this package, man, and it just here, and now it's your time. You know, I'm 32 years old, I'm a fresh dad, I'm in a new weight class that I should have been in a long time ago. I've been fighting these fucking chubby big guys, man, for the longest time now, and now I'm the bigger guy now, you know, I'm the guy that has some confidence, but life is weird, bro. Life won't give you things if you're not ready for it, you know, so I'm here now. This is my reality, and I love it, man. I love the fact that life waited for me to get to this point. My losses, my experiences, being lost, don't know what the hell's going on with my life. Now I have like this solid base underneath me, man. You know, I have a new purpose. So I love it. I love this.
I love it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Shady.
Hey Josh, Shady with MMA Dungeon. Pleasure to speak to you.
What's up, brother?
Your opponent, Fabian Edwards, in my opinion, and in yours, is slightly looking past you. In his first interview after being paired up with you, he told Ariel Helwani that all he knows about you is that you fought him but twice and that you're a southpaw. So you already spoke a little bit about how you feel that he's looking past you, but my question is, what should he know about you other than those? What does he need to know about the Josh that's going to be on the other side of that cage?
Man. I mean, I feel like he has to say stuff like that because I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. He's seen me fight before, obviously. He's probably studied my videos and things like that. But to be honest, I don't really care what he has to know about me. Friday, he'll find out. You know, I'm not going to sit here and, what am I going to tell him? I'm tough, man. I'm tough. I'm strong too. I know how to fight. I don't know, what should I tell him, you know? He has a great English accent. I don't have one of those, you know. Is he better than me there? I don't know, you know. All I know is Friday we get to throw down. I can't sit here and convince him that I'm just as tough, man. Just because you beat him, but it doesn't mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and explain all this shit to him. Friday, we'll see what happens.
I definitely respect your demeanor. I think fighters do their most speaking in the cage through their fights, so kudos to you for that. Given that you're hot sauce, Angry Barbarian has 0 calories, 0 grams of sugar. How many bottles do you think you went through during fight camp?
How many bottles did I go through fight? Man, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest chili head, so my hot sauce is actually pretty hot for me. So I'm putting a little bit on the eggs, you know. It takes me a while to run through the bottle, but all my friends who bought some, man, they love it. They're running through it. There's one PFL guy over here, Mike. Mike bought like 3 bottles now, man. This dude's he says the only thing he doesn't put it on is pasta. So that's pretty insane. But for me, man, it's like an 8 out of 10 hot for me. I can't do that every day or else I'll go crazy.
I can't wait to try it. One last one for me. So you moved down in weight classes. You're fighting for a little bit more now with the baby. So did you realize that you're also fighting for the mullet championship?
The mullet championship?
Yeah, it's you and Aaron Jeffrey. You're both in the same division.
Oh, yeah. Yo, the thing is,
mullets in the weight class.
yeah, you know, Aaron, he has a nice mullet, but he cheats. His girlfriend's a hairdresser. It's not fair. It's not fair. He actually has a nice mullet, man. It's very well proportioned. You know, if you got a hairdresser with you every day, it's not fair, man. It's not fair.
Listen, I'm not one to get on the bad side of any fighter ever, but I think yours looks a little bit neater. It's a little bit more put together. This is more of a wild kind of mullet, but hey, best of luck. I can't wait to see your fight.
Thank you, man. Free shipping on the hot sauce. Go grab one.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Carlo.
Hey Josh, Carl Perusa. You really embody what it is to be a true martial artist. For you, what does it mean to call yourself a martial artist?
Man, it's my life to be called a martial artist. I tell people this all the time. Learn what you don't like in life. Pay attention to what you do like in life, and try to build off of that. Luckily for me, as a small child, I knew what I liked in the beginning. I don't know why I got the message in my mind, but I knew I enjoyed fighting. I knew I liked being around that environment. So for me, man, this has been a journey, a dream, all in one package that I always knew as a kid that I wanted to do this. Obviously, you know, the reality of it is it's violence, and you got to figure out whether this is really suitable for you. But ever since I was a small child, man, I just knew that this was my calling, and I'm super blessed, man, because people take forever in life sometimes to figure out what they want, and I just knew I wanted to do this. So being a fighter, giving this image, especially, you know, modern day gladiators now, you know, I love it. I love being the one to go into the cage and play that part.
You know, the life of a professional mixed martial artist is something like no other. It's a roller coaster. There's highs, there's lows, there's so many sacrifices. What is the best piece of advice that you received from your dad, Conan, that's helped you get through this journey?
Man, I would say some of the best, like you actually said it in your question, man, some of the best advice to be a fighter at a good level, at a top level, and to keep that, man. My dad always tells people there's 5 ingredients to attempt to be the best. It's not even going to get you there. It's an attempt. He'll tell you sacrifice. He'll say sacrifice. He'll say sacrifice again, and then the last one, he'll ask you, what do you think the last one's going to be? By the time you get to the 5th pinky, you look at him and you go, shit, sacrifice. And then when you understand that, then you realize, oh, it is a lot of sacrifice. You go to work every day. No one's paying you $1 to go to the gym. You don't make $1. You're not making money on a weekly basis. You're gambling with a day-to-day basis where you're like, I don't know how this fight's gonna go, but I'm sacrificing the opportunity of the safe net, the other things in life that I don't want to do, but it keeps me safe, but I'll sacrifice that for the better good of what I feel, you know. And sometimes you gotta step into the dark like that, and my dad being by my side, man, he's so good with making me understand that. And with my experience, I've seen many fighters go through that path. So this is just, I'm just a kid that's been around and soaked it all in, bro. That's all.
Thanks for your time, Josh. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Josh, that's all we have for you today.
All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
sure.
you.